Mount and Blade 2. Bannerlord is without a doubt the worst game I've ever sunk hundreds of hours into. It's the best mediocre game I know. And why do I say that? Because it has so many features, so many possibilities, yet no real depth. Imagine a vast ocean stretching as far as the eye can see, but the water barely reaches your ankles. That's my Bannerlord experience. There are 6 cultures to choose from, each unique in its own way. But do you really feel the difference in gameplay? Not really. Sure, the special perks exist, like reducing the penalty in Forest as Britannia or earning more as a mercenary with Vlandia. But at the end of the day, it's the same gameplay loop. The game has so many features, yet none of them are fleshed out to their full potential. Take the companion system, for example. Imagine how amazing it would be if we could promote soldiers dynamically based on their battlefield heroics. Say I'm fighting the Empire, about to lose, when suddenly one of my troops unleashes his inner berserker and turns the tide of battle. Wouldn't it be incredible if I could promote him right there, making him a unique companion who fought alongside me and earned his place? Instead, what do we get? A 3-line dialogue, a randomly generated NPC waiting in a tavern, and a small gold fee. That's it. No depth, no uniqueness. Every campaign feels the same. But today, we're not here to talk about Bannerlord's flaws. We're here to talk about the new expansion, War Sales. And what it actually brings to the table. And for once, Taleworlds decided to go all in with a DLC instead of just releasing another patch that fixes 2 bugs and introduces 5 new ones. War Sales is bringing naval warfare to Bannerlord for the first time. Yes, ships, a feature that modders have been begging for since day one. Now we'll be able to command fleets, engage in sea battles, and hopefully recreate Viking-style raids instead of just looking at a coastline and pretending. Speaking of Vikings, we're also getting a new faction, the Nords, or as I like to call them, the faction we all wanted in the first place. Let's be honest, the Nords we had until now were just glorified bandits with clown pants and a nice shield for the early game. Now we finally get proper seafaring warriors with a homeland in the Northern Kingdom. Filled with jagged peaks, freezing fjords, and villages that will probably be raided by me 5 minutes into my playthrough. I bet this is gonna feel more Viking than Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Naval warfare itself looks promising. Ships have realistic wind and water physics, boarding mechanics, ramming, and even ballista fire to tear through sails. This could actually be incredible, assuming the AI doesn't decide to crash my entire fleet into the nearest rock. And let's be honest, we all know that the AI in this game has the tactical brilliance of a drunken goat. So expect your allies to either ram into you, get stuck on some invisible terrain, or just sit there doing absolutely nothing while you take on an entire fleet alone. Now hold up, before I continue explaining more about the DLC, let's take a step back to the original Mount and Blade to get some more context. After all, we've already had a Viking-themed DLC, Viking Conquest, which received mixed reviews, but eventually became a cult classic. That expansion brought a unique blend of Viking lore, land and sea combat that was truly a new and unique experience. And many players say that the reforged version of the DLC perfected the game for them. It just felt like a whole experience. Now, we are about to experience something similar in Bannerlord. Maybe with this new DLC, we'll finally get the full experience the devs always wanted us to have. Maybe it will fix the problems I mentioned earlier, because the new water added by the DLC will raise the ocean level that was previously very shallow. I hope you appreciate all the water-themed jokes because of the naval DLC. Please subscribe. I need the ad money. And let's not forget the most important part. Who's gonna carry the boats?
Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs?
Probably my soldiers after I inevitably go down first in battle. Beyond the expansion, the base game is also getting some updates. Taleworlds originally planned a separate DLC focused on more story-driven elements, but decided to scrap it and just add those features to the main game. And honestly, I respect that. So what are we getting? Random events. Now, this could be one of the best things to happen to Bannerlord. Unique stories, new weapons, maybe even a more immersive way to find companions. Or more likely, it's just going to be the same 3 quests repeated endlessly. Because you know, landowner wants his daughter found wasn't annoying enough the first 20 times. And let's be real, these random events are just going to be bandit ambush number 573. And every now and then, some peasant will ask you to kill a wolf or something. Groundbreaking. We're also getting some new gameplay mechanics. Remote negotiations, which allow you to talk to enemy lords without walking into their castle and getting captured like an idiot. It's a great idea, but considering how bad diplomacy is in this game, it's like putting a cherry on a mud cake. A new stealth system that lets you sneak into dungeons and rescue prisoners without fighting. Sounds useful, except the only time I ever sneak into a dungeon is when I want to get rid of the person I'm rescuing. Because for some reason, dungeon mortality rates are suspiciously high. Just saying, if you ever want to get rid of your in-game spouse, forget dueling. Just send them to a dungeon and let fate do the work. And if this system is anything like other Bannerlord mechanics, expect guards to either detect you from 500 meters away or completely ignore you as you waltz in, free a prisoner, and leave while whistling. No in between. We're also getting changes to castle and town projects, which could be huge since there's basically no difference between them right now, except that castles are just glorified towns that don't make money. Hopefully, this means there will actually be a reason to own a castle other than just hoarding prisoners until they inevitably escape, because shocker, prison security in Calradia is about as useful as a wooden sword in a siege. And of course, AI improvements, which I'm sure will be totally stable and not break the game at all. Every time Taleworlds announces AI improvements, I get flashbacks to my cavalry deciding that the best tactical move is charging straight into a wall and staying there. So yeah, I have high hopes for this one. Now, looking at the community's reaction, it seems like people are cautiously optimistic. On one hand, this expansion is adding some long-requested features, naval combat, a proper Nord faction, and actual meaningful mechanics. On the other hand, this is Taleworlds, and we all know their track record. Some players are excited, while others are convinced this is just another half-baked update that modders will have to fix. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they're right. Overall, this update has the potential to completely change Bannerlord's future. Up until now, it felt like the game was just stuck. But at the very least, even if the expansion isn't perfect, modders will have a bunch of new features to build on. And that's the real endgame here, isn't it?